Peace and blessings. Welcome to my channel. My name is Todd Schutze, and I'm a certified financial coach. I'm also the founder of True Financial Coaching, where our mission here is to educate, enlighten, and equip individuals with financial literacy that is necessary in order to escape the rat wheel. The rat wheel is when one is constantly financing things that go down in value for them, but up in value for the banks. The wheel is only powered as long as the rat keeps moving. So when one is constantly financing things that depreciate, then they keep that wheel powered. It's not until one wakes up and realizes that they're the rat that's powering the wheel, that then they can do what it takes to get off the rat wheel. And in order to do that, they must, take control of their finances, get out of debt, invest in themselves. And then when they do that, then they become free to do what they want when they want, instead of having to do the things that they don't want. It's been a while, since I last made a video, a couple of weeks. And part of that is because, like I said, I went back to work this year. And that's one of the reasons why I came on today, because just thinking about the purpose of a job. Most people believe that the purpose of a job is to, make money, get some cash flow in order to, pay for your lifestyle, pay for your living expenses, take care of your family. And that's all good. That's all true, providing, because, if you don't work, you don't eat. But that's just the surface, the surface meaning of a job to me. And what I mean by that is that's just what we see as the purpose of a job. But once you, really wake up and you begin to see things for what they are, like I said in one video, 40-hour work week, that's a program. When you begin to wake up and, see things differently, then you begin to, see what the meaning of a job is, the underlying meaning of a job, underneath what most people believe a job is needed for and what it is for. But the purpose of a job for me is to see what it is I don't want in my life. And I'm not saying I don't want to work. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is the purpose of a job that is showing me is that I don't want anyone dictating the time in my life. I don't want a job dictating the time in my life. I don't want a job dictating when I can take days off, when I can go to lunch, when I can take a bathroom break. Just a job just shows me, going back after that sabbatical, it's showing me that my time is valuable. It's showing me that my time is valuable. It's showing me that I can be more productive with my time than, giving it to a job. And again, I'm not job shaming. I'm not, discrediting people that, work at jobs, especially if you love it. Because if you love what you're doing, that's beautiful. You enjoy your job, you enjoy your career or whatever it is you do, and you get satisfaction and fulfillment out of that, then that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Because I've been there. I know what that's like. Because I experienced that as a teacher, particularly like in my early years of teaching. I enjoyed it, loved it, and I still love teaching. But taking this sabbatical, and I talked about this, before, but it's something that it just stays with me, man. It really does, because before I took the sabbatical, and I talked about this before, but I just can't explain, and what it did to me. But before I took the sabbatical, you know, I would go to work, and I was like, man, this is ridiculous. I can't keep going in here every day, you know, till I'm 65 or whatever age. Can't keep doing this. I had got to that point where I was just tired. I was just tired of going in to the workplace, and I felt trapped. I felt trapped. I felt like it had to be that way. Then I shared my story, but thankfully things changed after COVID, and I was able to take the sabbatical a few years later, last year, well this year, last year into this year. And during that time off, I owned the time in my life. I mean, I didn't have to answer to a, a, a bell. I didn't have to worry about clocking in and clocking out. Didn't have to worry about that. I was able to do so much with that time off. I was able to do so much. I was able to create a service to help people. I was able to create this channel. I was able to create, so many other things, so many other areas in my life. I was able to, do things with my physical, my mental, my spiritual, where it just changed me. It changed me. And what's funny is, before I took the sabbatical, my wife, she was saying, I can't wait to see what you're going to be when you go at the end of the sabbatical. And she knew that I was going to be different. She already knew it. And she was right. She was right. So going back into work, and I've been back now for 3 months, no, 2 months, beg your pardon. Been back now for 2 months. And just the first week back at the job, I knew it wasn't for me. I knew this wasn't for me. I knew it. I knew that working in a 9 to 5, or whatever hour, I just say 9 to 5, 8 hours in a building, I felt trapped. I feel trapped because I'm still working right now. And that first, week back, first couple of weeks back, I felt so much, like the negativity in the atmosphere of the building. Being back in the classroom with the students, at the end of the day, I felt tension all up in my trap areas. Feeling pain there, and I knew that was nothing but the stress of a job. So what I do at that first week, I said I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. So I put my paperwork in to retire. So this is my last school year teaching, 25 years of teaching. and I'm calling it quits. I'm hanging it up. I said I can't do this because I experienced freedom. And I wasn't going to retire. When I went back, I said I'm gonna do one, maybe 3 more years. I was already planning 3 more years. I was, but I had a conversation with a good brother of mine, and I know it was like the conversation was definitely directed by the Lord. It was definitely directed by God, because the things the brother was, we was talking about, he had, he experienced, where I'm at. He already been there, and he's doing great things, But he stepped away from a job years ago and doing great things today, doing what he wants to do, what he loves to do. And me and him, we sat and we talked for a while, about an hour. We talked. He listened. I listened. He shared his experiences. He knew how I was feeling after that sabbatical video that I did. And so after that conversation, and then going back to work, I said, yeah, it's time. It's time. And this job is showing me again, like I said, the purpose of a job to me right now, out underneath the making money to pay for your living expenses and, fund your lifestyle. But when you get to the root of it, for me, it's showing me that I don't want nobody dictating my life. That's what my time in my life. That's what this job is showing me. That's what a job is showing me. I don't want nobody dictating the time in my life, because I already know that time is precious, time is limited, and if I can use my time to do something that I really love, then I'm gonna pursue that. And like that's why another reason why I haven't been able to really make videos past couple of weeks. Try to do a video every week. It's been like 2 weeks, but that's cool. But that's the reason, is because the job, you know. I work, start school at 8:15, 8:11, whatever, 3:19. Time I get home tired, do other things, still helping people, with the services I provide, true financial coaching, but it's like I don't have the time that I had and used to having, where I was able to make videos, whenever I wanted to, able to go to the park and, exercise and work out and just sit, read, meditate, because now and I can't even say 8 hours, because it's more than 8 hours, because now you have to take into account waking up in the morning, getting yourself ready, transit, that's all part of the time that's being dictated because of a job that you don't now have because of a job. So for me, the purpose of a 9 to 5 is to show me what I don't want in my life. Show me what I don't want in my life. And I'm grateful for the 25 years the Lord has blessed me to, be an educator, be a teacher. But time is up. So my last day is in June 13th. It's the last day. And, like I said, going back to work, using the time that I had off on the sabbatical, it really changed me. It's like I'm free from that 40-hour work week program. I'm free from it. And even though I have a couple more, a few more months, I have to physically go into the building, but my mind is not there. My heart is not there, and that's how I know. That's how I know that I'm making the right decision. And like I said in that sabbatical video, you can't, in a video, even the video before that about fear, false evidence appearing real, you can't allow fear to keep you from doing what you want to do. Because fear is crippling, fear is paralyzing. And many people don't move because of fear. And even going back, talking to some of the coworkers there, I didn't let them know right away. Like I had put that paperwork in like maybe the first week with the students back, maybe like the second day of school. After the second day of school, I put that paperwork in. So I ain't tell nobody. Maybe I told one of my coworkers, but everybody else, I kept that. I didn't let nobody else know until recently, you know. And then they, some of the, and it's amazing though, how people, they say things and they don't even realize they saying it. So like people will say like, what you gonna do? What about health insurance? And that's just what I said before, I already knew that that's the response of people because they have that 40-hour work week program mentality. And when you step outside of that, you see that, all that is it's just a form of bondage. It's a form of bondage where you have people afraid to, move on, knowing they want to, because people are trapped at jobs that they don't want to be at. They trapped there. They feel like they're trapped. Not that they are trapped, because you can break free from it, but it takes sacrifice, takes discipline, but people feel trapped at jobs that they don't want to be at. And like I often say, because of debt ties you to a job, debt ties you to a depreciating object, debt ties you to the banks. But some of the people I talked to on the job, knew I took a sabbatical, know I'm retiring. They say, I wish I can do that. I wish I can do that. Now, mind you, these are people earning 80, 90,000, six-figure, $100,000 a year gross. And they saying, I wish I can do that. Several people said, I can't do it. I got a mortgage. I got this, I got that. And this is what I'm saying. Many people want to leave the job, but because of debt, because of the lifestyle that they created for themselves unconsciously. And I say unconsciously because people don't even know, they don't even realize, what the impact of financing depreciating object does. They don't even realize it. They looking at, okay, I'm financing, I got this object, but what they don't see that they're giving in exchange for that object is more than just money, but it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. You're not just paying in dollars or euros or pounds or sterlings for these depreciating objects, for these cars and, phones and whatever. You're not just paying in currency, but you're paying in time. And that's more valuable than any dollar, more valuable than any object. Because see, when you own the time of your life, meaning when you don't have someone dictating your time, a job dictating your time, you're free to do whatever you want with that time. You free to create whatever you want to create. You free to earn however much money you choose to earn in that time. You're free. And people don't realize, you know, the value of freedom. They don't realize it. And I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is find something you love to do. Find something you're passionate about and do it. Do it. My wife was telling me yesterday. She was talking to some of her coworkers on the job where she work at, place where she work at. One lady in her 60s, man, says she don't want to come in to work. She don't want to have to come into work. She don't want to have to come into work. She said, I wish I can just, stay home and paint and do my artwork. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's something inside of all of us that we would love to do. We would do it for free. We would do it for free and wouldn't even feel like work. And once you find that thing in your life that you love to do, that you would do it for free, it won't even feel like work, right? Doing the videos and helping people with my coaching service, I love it. I love it. I love it. Traveling for the church, being free, I love it. Those things I love. I love to do those things. I feel free. When I felt the taste. I tasted that freedom last year. These past 14, 15 months. I mean, before I went back to school, I tasted that freedom, and that taste of it. I can't go back. You can't go back once you taste it. You know what I mean? And if I tell people, especially the teachers I work with, like, take the sabbatical, take it, take it, because it's going to change your whole perspective. It's going to change everything. And teachers I tell, again, they say, well, I can't, whatever, this, that, and the other. A couple of them, finally made the decision to take a sabbatical, and I'm happy for them. Some of them taking a 6-month sabbatical, and I'm happy for them. And that's a blessing if you're able to take that time off. But if you haven't taken time off for work, and I'm not talking about a week off. A week is nothing. A week is nothing, and a week you haven't even got it started. I'm talking about months. I'm talking about months. You got to take months off. I'm not talking about a week. Nah, because in a week you just getting you just getting recharged. You're not even getting fully recharged. You just getting a little bit, powered up, but then you got to go right back. I'm talking about months. If you take months off, it's life changing. It's life changing. And I didn't think it would be to this extent. I really didn't. I knew I was going to go back different, but I didn't think it would be to this extent. And I still go in and I do my job. I do my job. I'm not one of them guys that I'm a half step. No, I'm still going to put my full effort into it. But mentally, I'm gone. I done escaped the 40-hour work week. And now there is no limit. There is no limit. And like I said, during the sabbatical, I was living off half my salary, and we were fine. And that's because we didn't have no debt except for the mortgage. And now, you know, I get a pension for being a teacher. I get a pension, and the pension is about the same amount that I was making during my sabbatical. And the only thing is now, by the grace of God, I'll be mortgage free, completely debt free, God willing, before I retire in June. Completely no mortgage, no nothing. No mortgage, no nothing. Completely debt free before I retire. And that's another thing. You can't do this with a whole lot of debt. You got to have a vision for yourself. You got to. And like I said before, back in 2019, 2020, it was 2020 is when I began implementing this plan. And I wrote it down, and I'm gonna share because I have the original documentation of this. And I wrote down my plan, wrote down my debt, wrote down when the anticipated payoff date of each debt would be. And the last thing I said was, God willing, I wrote this. I said, God willing, I will be debt free by the age of 50. I'm 48 years old. Next year, if be the Lord's will, I'll be 49 in August. And this is what I'm saying. You have to have a vision for yourself, because even the scriptures say, write the vision and make it plain. And yes, that's talking about spiritually, but also naturally for yourself. You have to have a vision, and you have to write it and believe it and execute it. And when you do that, God will make so many ways. I said, God willing, I will be debt free by the age of 50. And Lord willing, I'll be debt free next year. When I say debt free, I mean everything. See, because, Dave Ramsey, he does these debt free screams. And you got people going on debt free screams saying I'm debt free, but yet they still got this fat old mortgage. And I get it, because paying off the mortgage, that's going to take some time. So, they say consumer debt, that's what he say, but completely debt free, no mortgage, no nothing. And people say, well, you don't have a mortgage, but you still got to pay property tax. So you're not really free, or you don't really own everything. So then this is what I always say to that, because I used to say the same thing. But like I said, when your eyes open and you start seeing things differently, it's like annual property taxes compared to a 30-year mortgage, 15-year mortgage payments. That's nothing. And if that was the case about the property tax, where you never really own it, you never really yours, you're never really free because of the taxes. If that's the case, why are so many people financing homes if you never really own it? Why are so many people getting mortgages? You might as well just rent if that's the case. But it's not the case, because if you talk to somebody that owns the home, clear and free, they'll tell you that is nothing like no stress. I'm always gonna have a home or a roof over my head. just pay an annual taxes. That's nothing compared to a mortgage payment. Nothing. And people that talk like that are people that probably have mortgages. Most likely they have mortgages, because if you had a mortgage, you wouldn't be talking like. If you didn't have a mortgage, you wouldn't be talking like that. You wouldn't be talking like that. Because a person that paid off their mortgage, nope. Like I said, only people with mortgages tell people to keep a mortgage. It sounds simple. That don't make sense, but I'm telling you, only people with mortgages will tell people to get a mortgage and keep their mortgage. But yeah, having this, tasting that freedom and having to go back to work, it shows me that the purpose of a job in my life is to show me what I don't want in my life. And that is somebody dictating my time. I marvel at how the employer gives you X amount of days off, and yet they penalize you for taking the days that they give you. I never understood that. They penalize you for taking time off that they give you. I never understood that. I never understood how an individual that has time off has to put a request in for time off and then wait to get approved, and can get possibly denied of the time off that they requested, because they say, well, we won't have no workers in. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's your problem as a business. That's not my problem. I have time off. I want to use it. I should be able to use it without, I just let you know. Just let you know I'm taking this time off. Not, can I have this time off? No, I'm taking this time off. That's a problem where a job can dictate whether or not, whether I can be approved to attend an event for my child, a graduation, I got to put in time off. A wedding, I got to put in time off for, for a family member, or a death, a burial. I got to put in time off for that. I gotta get approved. No. And they can deny it, where they can deny an event that in my life, it will only happen once. And if I miss that event, it can never happen again. Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. And this is what I mean about a job dictating people time. And people just accept this. That's the 40-hour work week program. They just accept it. But once you break free, you can't go back. And I'm telling you that I'm saying this because I'm experiencing this right now. I broke free from the 40-hour work week program, and I can't go back. And when I say can't go back, I'm not talking about physically, because I got to go back this one more year, but I'm talking about mentally. I can't fit in. I don't fit in. I don't fit in. Hearing the same old stuff, seeing the same old things. I go into this building, I feel like a prisoner. I feel like a prisoner. One of my favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption. And the main character, Andy Dufresne, I feel like him. I go in there, but yet I'm not there. I'm walking around with, like, just carefree. walking around carefree. I'm physically, I'm trapped inside of there, but I'm walking around carefree. It's like I'm just here. I'm just here. And I always thought before this sabbatical, I'll tell you, I said this before, I would go into go into work, go in on the bus, riding in on the bus, whatever, and I would be like, man, I got to get out of this. How can I get out of this? And I always thought it was something outside of me that would happen. A big windfall of money. I couldn't play the lottery, so I knew that wasn't happening, but something. I just thought it was going to be something. Not realizing that all along, the answer was right in here. It was me. I was the answer to getting free. And when I say I was the answer, I'm meaning just getting out of debt. Because, like I said before, it don't take a whole lot. Life is not expensive. Life is not expensive. We make life expensive. Life is not expensive. We make life expensive. And I'm not saying, you got to be driving a hoopty or living in a shack and wearing hand-me-downs all the time. No, I'm just saying, all I'm saying is life is not expensive, but we make it expensive because we live above our means. We live above our means. And then we wondering why we don't have any money at the end of the month, why we can't save, why we can't invest. The answer was always within me. Always. The answer was always within me. All these years, I was a slave. I was a slave. All these years, I was a slave and didn't even know it. And I often say, if I had this knowledge that I had now when I was younger, I would have been free. But it's a time for everything. It's a time for everything. It's a time for everything. And now's the time. Now's the time. It feels so good knowing that if it be the Lord's will, if the Lord let me live to see the end of this school year, that I don't have to wake up no more to go to a job. I don't have to wake up to go to a place that I'm confined to a building for 8 hours. And like I said, I still love teaching. I love teaching. And even though I'm not going to be teaching in the public school system any longer, I'm still going to be teaching. Still teaching the natural and the spiritual. I'm still going to be teaching. So I'm still going to be doing what I love, just on a different platform. And then I'm telling you, if you had a job that you hate, I have the blueprint. And I'm not saying that like arrogantly or nothing like that. I'm saying it because I did it. I did it. And I can give you the blueprint, but it's up to you to use it. It's up to the individual to implement it. It's up to the individual to put it into action. Like I said before, the blueprint to losing weight is very simple. Eat less, move more. That's very simple. Eat less, move more. That's the blueprint to losing weight. But if one is not going to implement that blueprint, then they'll never change. The blueprint to being free: spend less than you earn, save and invest the difference. It's that simple. Spend less than you earn, save and invest the difference. But in order to spend less than you earn, you have to know what you're spending, where your money's going. And most people don't know that. They don't know where their money's going. And then they wonder where it went. I have the blueprint. I do. I can help people. I can help people. And those people that been reaching out to me and scheduling consultations and doing follow-up coaching sessions, thankful for those individuals. And, you know, hearing the feedback that they're giving, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it lets me know that I'm on the right track. This is definitely the right move. There's no turning back for me as far as to a 9 to 5. Having the time in your life to do whatever you want to do. And when I say do whatever we want to do, I don't mean just sit around laying on the couch eating chips. But I mean doing something fulfilling in your life, whatever that may be. Whatever that may be. Having that time to do that is one of the best things that you'll experience from a natural perspective. But some people will never experience it. Some people will never experience that. If you're ready to experience that, and it's going to take some sacrifice, and it's not a quick fix either. And I don't want people thinking that. It's not a quick fix. I started this journey in 2020. 2019 is when I really got tired. But it really wasn't until 2019 is when I really was longer than that. Probably 2018 was when I really was like, man, this is something ain't right. Before that, I was just on autopilot, just going through the motions. And that's what most people do. They just on autopilot, going through the motions. And then something has to happen where it's like a wake-up call. 2018 is when I prayed and said, Lord, help me to be financially or fiscally fit, along with something else. 2019 is when I had a wake-up call. And that wake-up call was just me just getting tired of the same routine every day of going in, feeling that having that trapped feeling. 2020 is when with COVID, and I shared this before, but 2020 is when 2020 was when I said, all right, it's time. And I put into action what I started just researching, put it into action. And now 4 years later, put my paperwork in to retire. So the plan is simple, but the execution of it is difficult because you're going to have a lot of obstacles. You're going to have a lot of fears. You're going to have some setbacks, but you just got to keep enduring. You got to keep pushing through and persevering and fight for that freedom because it's attainable. And this is what I'm saying. It's a simple plan, but it's not an easy task. And many people aren't willing to make that sacrifice. They're not willing to sacrifice. And you have to sacrifice if you want to be free from a job that you hate. I'm talking about careers. I'm talking about, and I'm not just talking about people working at Walmart. Not that there's nothing wrong with Walmart if that's what you want to do. But I'm talking about careers. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about doctors and lawyers, engineers. People that went to college because that's what the program said. And they went into a career they really didn't want to do. Or when they got into it, realized this is not for me, but they deep in debt with student loans that they feel tied. So they got to do it. But I got the blueprint. And I got the blueprint, but you got to want it. You got to want it. And if you're ready, you can visit me at truethinkcoaching.com, schedule your 30-minute consultation, and I can help you. And I thank everybody that's been reaching out to me. Thank everybody that's been subscribing, watching my channel. I thank one of the subscribers who donated for me to get a microphone, and I hope this microphone is sounding good. The quality is good. And one of the viewers, subscribers donated, and I appreciate that. And this is the microphone. But yeah, you gotta want it. Gotta want it. Hopefully, God willing, on Friday, October 25th, I'll be going live. God willing, going live about an hour. You can come on and ask questions and, make it interactive, personal finance questions only, help you out. Yeah, time in the lifetime is precious because eventually we all gonna die one day. If it be the Lord's will, we all gonna die one day, and the job after we die is still gonna go on. So why waste your time at a place you don't want to be at? So if you're ready to get off the rat wheel, escape the 40-hour work week program, visit me at True Think Coaching. We can get you on your journey so you can be free to do what you want when you want instead of having to do the things that you don't want. Peace and blessings.